Hello YouTube. Sorry for the long silence. I've been quite busy, but in the past few days things have happened in the acronym world, so to speak, so I wanted to do a little update. So first of all, Acronym has finally launched an official Instagram page. Up until now there was only like Errolson's personal page, but now there's one of the actual brand. And yesterday this page released a very cool reel, which I will discuss later in this video. Besides that, there is now an Acronym newsletter to which you can subscribe to be alerted for the latest drops, which is really nice if you're not like totally obsessed and checking the site every day and reading Discord like a maniac, which I can personally very much recommend not to for your mental health. So then yesterday, a newsletter as well as a post on the new official Instagram notified about a preview on the Acronym site of the next Spring/Summer 23 drop. That is also announced on the 23rd of March, which is of course very nice because now we are finally given some time to actually look at the pieces and think about them / to grow brainworms before the actual drop is. So let's look at the pieces in question. First up, the J105DS. I already mentioned in my previous video. It is a dry skin jacket inspired by a gakuran, which is like a Japanese school uniform, which in itself is modeled after a Prussian Waffenrock, the battle dress for the Prussian army from about 1843, which later evolved into this, hence the name Waffenrock is no longer used for German battle dress after 1945. But the name Gakuran actually means something like clothes for student in Dutch style, the word ran referring to the Dutch as homonym for the West. Because apparently from about 1641 until 1854, the island of Dejima was apparently a Dutch trading post, and that was the only Japanese territory open to Westerners. This also led to the Japanese movement Rangaku, which means Dutch learning, which was an organized scholarly effort to learn the Dutch language. And this actually caused a few words in Japanese to originate from Dutch words. This is quite funny to me, being Dutch myself. Like buriki from blik, which means like tin can. Boru, which comes from bor, which means like a drill. Madorosu, which apparently comes from matros, which is a sailor. Or mesu from mes, which is like a knife. And there are quite a lot here. So that's really quite funny to me. But this is totally my ADHD going off. So we're going to go back to the jacket that we were talking about, the Acronym jacket, remember? I think it looks super cool. Definitely something that I would get, even though I won't because I simply cannot afford it at the moment. So I will really have to let it go this time. I really love the collar. Will probably look very good with an LA6 or any other shirt under it, especially the version with like the white trim. I think it's very Acronym looking with the inside-out buttons, the tension zips, and of course the jacket sling that can be worn on the outside. Absolutely a very cool and slick-looking summer jacket / shirt that probably very comfy like the LA6BDS and quite similar looking profile fit. And what I like most about it are the details on the tension zips, because the zipper, as you can see here, covers two. Oh my god, this new site is really annoying. So the zipper actually covers like two different pockets on each side and separated by a button on the top, but the zipper head only goes halfway, or well, a bit more than half, but I mean, not all the way to the end, leaving the back part, the back pocket semi-open, which gives you the opportunity to slide your phone upwards into it and then flip it and drop it down into the pocket. Which is kind of like how the most recent zipperless gravity pockets are constructed. A type of pocket we saw first on the J56 GT, I believe, which works kind of like this, as you can see. Which is actually still a jacket I think is very underrated and which I sometimes still wish I got an alpha version of. I actually ordered this once, but then canceled it before it shipped because I realized I couldn't afford it, and now it's not available anymore. But yeah, it's a really nice jacket actually. But yeah, so the J105 DS, absolute banger in my opinion, will probably be quite spendy because of the pockets and everything. I predict 1K plus, but yeah, good luck to you guys grabbing one. Cannot wait to see cool fit pics with this. So then there is the J111 TSCH, a surprising release, I think, but cool as well. It definitely takes a lot from the J4TS that has been released in a few iterations before when it comes to the concealed features. Something we also saw in the Shadow Project stealth pieces, of which I have owned a few, but sadly do not own any more. So on the surface, the J111 looks kind of like a basic bitch coach jacket, but there are two AquaGuard zippers on the front that are ready to reveal a crazy amount of text storage on the inside. As you can see, MOLLE webbing for days to hang all your merchandise from. I think this is a really great jacket for drug dealers or like small arms dealers. There's also a hidden logo tape on the inside. It's a bit unclear to me if there is Velcro on the collar, this picture being the only one with the collar popped. But yeah, I mean, it's a great gray man jacket, I think, if you like tech but you want to be inconspicuous about it. So the fabric is called CH, or shoulder shape, as you can see here, which in this case, our acronym, because on the shoulder side it says that it can be different things, is a cotton, polyamide and elastane twill. A fabric that has not been used for a while as far as I can remember, so it was considered a bit of a legacy fabric, like Stats kind of is now. But it's back, so fans of it rejoice. It seems to come in black and schwarz-grün, even though I personally don't really think this looks like green at all. But maybe that's my eyes. To me, it actually looks a bit more like some grayish navy kind of color. Barely see any green in this. I don't know if the side pockets connect to the inner space, because it's not really shown in here. But if it does, like it does with the J4, I'm sure we will be seeing a few fit pics like these. Cool concept, not something I would get personally, but cool concept, not something that I would get personally, but I am kind of curious about the shoulder shape fabric. If you are still watching and enjoying yourself, please do bless me with a like and subscribe, or even consider using this thanks button, like thank you, thank me, or buy me a coffee, which is now also possible. I don't actually drink coffee anymore, just matcha, but that's even more expensive, so it would very much help me out and support this channel. I'll put this link in the description. Then we have the J19 WS, which is basically just a J95 WS with interops and a removable hood. Kind of like an improved version, if you will. So at this point, I personally don't think it really deserves a different number or name. Just like it's just like a 95A, like a 95 J95 advanced WS. But you know, I don't really care that much. The alpha color is a nice option though for a, in my opinion, kind of boring looking jacket. Then we get to one of my favorite acronym models, actually, the J68, the Perfecto style biker jacket, this time in Gore-Tex Pro to guarantee your dryness, and with an added removable hood, which is very nice, I think. Removable hoods are really my fave. I kind of wish they were available separately though, I mean in different colors, because many acronym jackets now actually have this 4-button collar design, so you can totally swap them around. And I would definitely love a white one for my J1E, because even though I like the hat hoods, I have to admit they are not always as convenient, especially in like heavy winds. I actually regularly use my J29 windstopper hood on my J28 GT, which fits and works just fine. So J68 GT, very cool. The chrome zipper on the black one makes it even more bikery. I think it would be great paired with the P38E. The alpha is also a nice look. The schwarz-grün, again, I don't know. I really don't like this color. It just, I don't know. To me, it just kind of looks faded, which in theory would kind of suit this model, it being a biker jacket, but yeah, I just don't like it. The close-up reveals it has some kind of ripstop pattern, like the J68 windstopper, the last one. So it's definitely not the usual Gore-Tex Pro like these, which is also confirmed in the fabric composition. As you can see here, this one is 72% polyester and this one is 64%. So it's definitely a different composition. To me, it actually looks a bit like how this one looked, but this again is a different composition. So it's not. It's a different Gore-Tex Pro. I am not going to get it though, because again, I am broke. And also the cropped nature of the 68 makes it a bit drafty for colder, rainy times, in my opinion. And the Gore-Tex Pro makes it a bit warm for warmer days. So I probably wouldn't get this one at all, even though I think these two look pretty cool. Then there are 3 trousers released. First up, the J48CH, again in shoulder shape, super wide, long, almost hakama kind of trousers. It's a cool look. Too inconvenient for me though with biking and stuff, so this is also something I can appreciate but would not get myself. I do think the CH fabric being part cotton might make these pants less loud in movement than, for instance, the P45E. If you have experience with both fabrics, do share in the comments. I'm very curious. It has 10 pockets, so I guess there are extra foam pockets in the deep pockets, and they probably split at the bottom, which also counts as 2. I do really like these drop foam pockets. They're very slick. I like that. It has the well-known ACRONYM quick lock, quick release belt system and shock cords at the hem, which is nice. Moving on to the P23QDS. I'm not really going to go into this one. It's a P23DS, but with the cargo pockets of the P41, which I personally don't like on the 41 and also dislike on these. So you can check out my P23 ADS video up here. Then there is a new short, which is extra short, like above the knee short. If you like to flaunt your pretty legs. The short pants 29 quarts, I guess. The acronyms are sometimes a bit weird because they seem to be in 2 languages. Like, I'm pretty sure SP stands for short pants, because in German that would be Kurzhose. But I also know that LA stands for long arm hemd, so it feels a bit random sometimes. So the fabric is called M, but really does not look like or have the similar composition to the M of last year, which was the Milliken nylon stretch, because this is supposed to be a bit stretchy. And this being 100% nylon is, I guess, not stretchy at all. So maybe it's also a fabric by the brand Milliken, therefore called M, but it's definitely a different Milliken fabric than the one of last year, as I already said. Over here, it's called nylon ripstop. I personally think it also doesn't really look like ripstop, but I guess it is. And it's a bit shiny. I think it actually kind of looks like a Shadow Project fabric, which is not a bad thing per se, but it's just an observation. I actually think it looks kind of nice. It looks actually nicer than I thought I would find it, but I actually like it better than the than last year's SP29, to be honest. Still not getting it though. So then there is also a FC3 in Windstopper, which also looks kind of nice, especially the Alpha one. But I know that if you carry it with you in your pocket and put it on, it's going to look like shit, because these hats really only work if you have let them hang long enough to get the folds out and wear them all the time. This is also my experience with the hat hoods. If I stow them away in a jacket and then decide to get them out when it rains, it's just, they really don't look very good. They definitely don't look like this. This looks like it's been ironed or something. So I mean, like, this is a cool idea, but if you store your hat away like this and then put it on your head, it's never going to look like this. No way. That's just not the reality. So those are the pieces that are on the website right now, and we'll be releasing the 23rd at the stock list globally according to the Insta post. Then lastly, I would just like to mention very quick a few of the pieces being teased in the product pics. So here we have the S25 PRC, which I think is pretty cool. Hopefully again in mercerized cotton, which is super nice and soft and cool and cooling. I like this graphic a lot. I might get this on sale if it's still available. Then there is this, I guess, S29 PRC. Also cool, I think. This might be a new profile fit singlet. Probably is. Here we have the S24 PRC, I guess, which is also quite cool, I think. Really like this, the old like Shuriken logo. I actually still think that's the coolest acronym logo. Okay, so this video has become way longer than I had anticipated, so I'm not really gonna go into this recap video anymore. You can just check it out on Instagram. It's cool. It has all kinds of images from previous videos and also some new images. Do feel free to leave a comment, or if you have anything to say or share. If you have very specific questions about any of the stuff you've seen in my other videos or in fic pics on Instagram, you can just ask them in the comments and then I can answer them or even show you something in the next one. So, bye.